House of Commons with the Conservative House Leader, Candice Bergen, and talking to you today about a very important issue. We have a motion that's going to be debated today on the issue of Tori Stafford's killer, McClintic. She had been in a facility with fences and bars. She was in a prison. She was in a real prison. Yeah. And now we found out just a few days ago that under this Liberal government, she's been transferred to a healing lodge, a facility that brags that there are no fences, that it's a very comfortable lifestyle. I believe she has a kitchenette.
Yeah, it's kind of like a lodge.
Yeah.
You know, it's in the wilderness. She's surrounded by nature, and other children actually, and there are children there as well.
So there's a lot to unpack here. So let's talk first of all. Ralph Goodale, the Liberal Public Safety Minister, referred to what Terry-Lynne McClintic did to Tori Stafford as bad practices. Yeah. Now, I don't want to go into too much detail here, but when you read the story of the case, these aren't bad practices. This was a cold-blooded killer who perpetrated just unimaginable acts.
It was horrible. They lured little Tori, 8-year-old little girl. They lured her. They brutalized her. They murdered her. They raped her. It was horrible. And when Ralph Goodale talked about this in such a cold way, it was, I think, re-victimizing and would re-victimize the family. But, you know, we know that the government could do something. Like, it's one thing when something like this happens and McClintic transferred to a healing lodge, and the government could say immediately, that's wrong. We're going to change the policy so that will be reversed and it won't happen with any other child killer. And that's what we've been asking them to do for the last 2 weeks.
Right. So she was in this facility. Now she's been moved to this healing lodge. We found out about this because Tori Stafford's father was contacted because this killer was applying for day parole. That's the only way we found out about it.
Yeah, that's another thing that's just unbelievable. And she still has, I think, 15 years left on her sentence. So this woman is not, thankfully, being ready to be transitioned back into the general public. She is still serving her sentence as she should be. But you know,
you're a mom. I'm a dad. Yeah. I look back at this case and you know, I can't imagine the pain and anguish that the family felt at the time, and now to go through it all again, finding out that this horrific, deranged individual is going to be moved to a healing lodge where she could potentially have access to day passes. That's just unbelievable.
I just find it so offensive and disturbing that these Liberals say they can't do anything about it. You know, they've called for a review. Apparently there's going to be a bureaucratic study to see if all the policies were followed and if the policies are in fact good policies. They're bad policies. Well, I think we know that. I think all Canadians would agree it's bad for a child killer like McClintic to be moved into a healing lodge. So why the government won't just immediately say it's wrong and we will do something to reverse this decision? It is unbelievable, and it seems to be a pattern, doesn't there?
Yeah.
Like whether it's McClintic or whether it's them giving veterans money that belongs to veterans to Chris Garnier,
the cop killer.
The cop killer. There is a pattern with these Liberals where they'll go to the wall to protect the criminal, and when it comes to the victim, they no, we can't do anything. Maybe we'll do a study.
Yeah. So today is the day of the debate where our motion is very straightforward. It's not a partisan motion. It doesn't have a lot of rhetoric in it. It just simply asks for every member of Parliament to stand up and let Canadians know on which side of the issue they stand on. It calls on the House of Commons, every member of Parliament, to do two things. One is to condemn the decision.
Yeah.
You know, we still haven't heard from Justin Trudeau if he agrees with the decision or not. And this is something that he's avoided answering for a couple of weeks. His minister calls it bad practices. So we want to hear from every MP. Is this a good decision or a bad decision? We in the Conservative Party think it's a bad decision. A departmental official, someone in Corrections Canada, made a mistake. They got it wrong, and it's up to us to get it right now. The second thing it does is it calls on the government to enact a policy that would reverse this decision, put her back behind bars. And just so people watching know, because you know you've heard the lines from the Liberals, they play fast and loose with the truth on these things. It is possible. Our government did it.
Yes, we did.
When we found out that Paul Bernardo, the gruesome killer of Kristen French and Leslie Mahaffey, when we found out that he was getting conjugal visits, we changed the policy so that
Yeah.
he wasn't able to do that.
Yeah.
When Clifford Olson,
Was getting OAS.
OAS and,
Yeah.
and old age benefits and pensions,
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
changed it. We passed a law that took that away. So it is possible for
Yeah.
them to act,
Yeah.
and that's what we're calling on you to do. Everyone watching, we want you to contact your member of parliament. They have a chance. The debate will be today, the vote will be tomorrow. They have a chance to do the right thing. Ignore what their Liberal whip is
Yeah.
telling them and do the right thing by Canadians.
So you need to call your member of parliament, especially if it's a Liberal or frankly an NDP member of parliament.
The NDP are voting with
Yeah,
the
the
Liberals on this.
NDP are, I don't understand what they're doing, but please call your member of parliament. They need to be outraged as Tori's family is, as outraged as Canadians are. Liberals need to be outraged about this decision, and as you said, Andrew, they can reverse this decision, and we're not suggesting it's specific, but they can generally change the policy. So please act. You have the ability to do something, and we need your help.
So we're going to put a message in the comments here telling you how you can find out who your member of parliament is. Please do that. Email, call. That's the best way to get their attention, and we're counting on them to do the right thing. We're hoping they're going to do the right thing. We don't know how they'll vote, but if they hear from you, maybe some individual MPs will vote for us. So vote with us on this motion.
We got to get in, and we're going to start debating this motion right now.
Thanks, Candace.
Okay, thanks.